Okay, we're going to talk about St. Louis, and obviously there's a lot of years through St. Louis, but some of the best wrestlers that Lou felt that came through there.
Oh, I'd have to start with Ray Steele. Now, Ray Steele was a great friend of Lou's, but Ray Steele was an amazing wrestler. Luther Lindsay was one of the rare black wrestlers in his day, but a phenomenal wrestler. Lou always felt like that was such a waste in professional wrestling. He died so young. And I think it was high blood pressure.
Yeah.
But some of the other guys that Lou had in the St. Louis territory don't spring to mind as quickly, but there were some.
What about in the 70s and 80s?
Well, I'll tell you the one that amused me the most. Johnny Valentine.
Yeah.
Could not wrestle. He was not a wrestler.
Yeah.
But Lou always said that he was the toughest guy he'd ever been in a ring with.
Oh, yeah.
And he loved to tell the story about Johnny doing some charity thing with a rodeo, and he came face to face with the bull, and Johnny just doubled up his fist and hit that bull in the nose as hard as he could and got out of there. And Lou would just laugh, hold his sides and laugh. But it was the logical thing for Johnny to do, and he had more guts.
Yeah, that's what Frankie Kane said. He showed me some pictures with him when he wrestled Johnny Valentine. He said Johnny Valentine was just a really tough SOB.
And he had to be.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you see Johnny years later on crutches and the pain that he went through, it took a lot of guts. It took a lot of guts just to live his life. And I think Lou respected him in that way too.
Father, of course, of Greg the Hammer. Did Greg Valentine ever come through St. Louis?
I don't know. Not when Lou was there.
Yeah.
Ray Gunkel, Lou said good things about as far as wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, just really putting me on the spot, because I'm sure there's a lot of great guys.
To jump forward to the 90s and early 2000s before Lou passed away, who did he feel were some of the best wrestlers, legit wrestlers? Didn't he have a friendship with Kurt Angle?
Oh, Lou had enormous respect for Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
He really, really did. And I will never forget the first time he and Lou met. Kurt said, Lou, I know you're really disappointed in me for, you know, what I'm doing now.
Because of a lot of the showmanship and the chairs and stuff, yeah.
And Lou stood there, put his enormous hand on Kurt's enormous shoulder that starts just under his ear. And he looked him straight in the eye and he said, Kurt, take the money.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because Lou knew there's not an option. There is no real professional wrestling.
Yeah. And Kurt was an amazing mic man, still is.
Oh, Kurt is a delightful young man.
Yeah. I met Kurt in Pittsburgh not too long ago, and he's a joy to be with, too. He's a very, very friendly guy. Just went through a nasty divorce, I think, and a really nice guy. Now, wasn't Lou good friends with Dan Severn as well? Yes,
a lot of respect and affection for Dan. It's really, for a semi-outsider, a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
And I know it happens in every profession, but there is something so rewarding about just a pure, honest, respectful relationship based on their shared passion, and that was wrestling. He really respected Dan's ability, but he liked Dan.
Now I'm going to approach a topic that's Drew Price told me that might be controversial. I don't know if you ever heard this, but Lou was going to come out with Dan Severn to the cage when he was fighting Royce Gracie, and there's been a story going around that Dan told him not to go out because he was going to lose, and that fight was fixed. I don't want to say that I know that to be true, or it's just a rumor that's been going around.
Well, Lou talked to me. I mean, Lou and I were just like business partners. Of course, I know nothing about wrestling, but that never crossed my desk.
Yeah, I don't know where that story came from. I've heard it from a few people.
Where that story came from.
Yeah.
But I do know that Lou had a tremendous respect for Dan's ability.
Yeah.
And I don't ever remember Dan ever asking Lou to do that or to not do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that got started. And boy, if we want to talk about stories that get started, you don't have enough time.
And that's simply a rumor, you know. It's just a rumor that's gone around on the internet and stuff. Yeah. That's good to know. Now, he also had a lot of respect for Mark Fleming.
Oh.
Yeah, and I spent a lot of time with Mark.
At Mark's wedding?
Yeah, best man at
Mark's first wedding.
Yep.
Which was a mistake, but that's okay. We all make those mistakes.
He just got married again, Mark.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully he's not making another mistake.
No, he is not. No, he is not.
We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the school that Lou had in Virginia. That'll be our last segment because it was a great school. And Mark Fleming, was he like one of the coaches there or something like that?
He was the coach.
Yeah, the coach there. So we'll talk about that school in Virginia. And that was in the 80s or 90s? Is that 80s?
That was probably late 80s, maybe early 90s.
Early 90s. Okay, great. We'll be back in a bit.